All right, this module will take you through how to draw a perpendicular line through a point that is not located on a given line. So we are given this line here. It goes on forever in both directions, and that is indicated with this arrow on the right-hand side and the arrow on the left-hand side. So that just means my line goes forever in both directions. I've also given you a point here. I've labeled it as point P, and that point is not located on this line. Essentially, what I'm asking you to do in this particular construction is that I want you to create a line that goes up and down through this image such that it is perpendicular to my given line. So my line that goes from left to right. Again, perpendicular means that lines intersect at specifically 90-degree angles. And I want to construct that such that it's also going through point P. So let's go through the various steps on how exactly we do that. We need to turn to our compass and straight edge. I'm first going to start by placing the window of my compass directly over my given point P here. And the first thing that I want to do, and I may have to adjust my little slider tool here, but I want to go ahead and create a circle that goes through 2 points on my line. So it intersects my line in 2 different areas. So I'm going to create this circle. I hope I have enough room on my paper. If not, it should be fine. It should still work out. So I'm going to create this circle. Woo! I barely had enough room. It doesn't matter so much this top part of the circle, so I technically didn't even have to draw the whole thing. For some reason, it just kind of makes more sense to me if I draw the whole thing. But what's really important, though, is down below along my line that there be 2 intersection points in the circle that you drew. We can see that there are 2 intersection points. Here I have an intersection point between my circle and my line, and here is another intersection point between my circle and my line. I'm going to go ahead and identify those and name them. So I'm going to label this one as point H and this one as point K. Again, it doesn't matter what letters you choose. I just chose random ones. So we have point H and point K. Now that we have those points on our image, we're going to use them very strategically. So we're going to turn back to our tool and we're going to place again the window of our compass now over point H. So my window is over point H. I want you to press firmly on that so that your compass does not move. You will, though, have to adjust your little slider tool here such that it is not over top of K, but appears just slightly before K, that hole. So just slightly before K. I'm now going to take my writing utensil, put it in the hole there, and create an arc up above and an arc down below. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but on the other side. So I'm going to flip my tool around. Do not alter your slider tool here. We want to maintain that exact same distance that we just used. We're now, though, going to place the window of our compass now over my other point, point K. So placing the window over point K, and pressing down firmly with my finger. That way my tool doesn't move. I'm going to place my writing utensil within that last hole that I just used, that same hole, and I'm going to draw an arc up above. And I'm going to create an arc down below. The important thing is that we create our arcs big enough, that way they intersect up above and they intersect down below. Those intersection points are very important, and we're going to label them. We're going to name them. So this one up above, I'm going to label as, I don't know, let's label it X. And this intersection point down below, I'm going to label as, I don't know, I'll just choose W. So that is point W. I'm going to connect those 2 points, X and W. And you can see that, oh my gosh, magically it goes through point P as well. That's exactly what we wanted. We're trying to create a perpendicular line through a point that was not on my original line. And that point not on my original line is that point P. Wham bam, my line that I just created goes through point P. That's exactly what I wanted. So I can also indicate that the angles formed here are 90 degrees. And I've indicated that with this little box symbol. I can also indicate that things are perpendicular here by writing a geometric statement or a geometric sentence. So I can say my up and down line that goes from point X to point W here. So essentially it is line segment XW. That up and down line segment is perpendicular to. So again, I've used the perpendicular symbol, just an upside down T. That is perpendicular to my line that goes through points H and K. So line H, K. And notice I use a different symbol. That line HK is a line. It's not a line segment, so I indicate that it goes on forever in both directions. So I've created my geometric sentence. Let's go back and review what my expectations are for the assessment that will be given on these various geometric constructions. So my first expectation is that we will be able to construct what I ask you to construct, and that is a perpendicular through a point not on the line. We can see that I've done that. I've just taken you step by step on how to do that. We were given this blue line here, and I was also given this point P, and I used my protractor and straight edge, or compass and straight edge, sorry, in order to create this perpendicular through my original line, but also such that my perpendicular goes through point P. So I have satisfied that expectation. I've created my construction. The second expectation that I have is that you indicate that these lines are perpendicular by communicating that angles are 90 degrees. And I've done that. You can see this box here. This box indicates or means those angles are 90-degree angles. So I have satisfied that requirement. The last thing that I expect you to do on this particular construction, in all of our constructions, is to create a geometric sentence. So I've expressed that things are perpendicular using a geometric statement or sentence. And that's the last thing I did in my problem. I said, based on my image here, that my up and down line segment, XW, was perpendicular to my left and right line, which was HK. So I have created a geometric sentence. That's the last thing that I require of you for this particular construction. I have satisfied that.